my dear viewer, to the Leadership Challenge show here on EBN with me, Reverend Felix Kavoy. To help us in the discussion of today is Dr. Mary Mugo, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business at Multimedia University. Thank you, Dr. for being together with us in this show. And in the first part of our discussion, we looked at integrity and what it entails. But now we want to ask ourselves some more pertinent questions. When we elect leaders, many people and majority of the electorate, they believe they have applied due diligence and they have elected men of integrity. And for sure, those people, some of them, we know they are as white as snow. I hear that is what I hear them say. But I don't know what happens, because within the first year, those people change. So they change until we wonder, are these the same people, innocent guys that we elected to bring change upon our lives? What happens to our leaders? What happens? Because it is not only in political realm, but even in church circles. You elect a very innocent man into the office of the bishop, and then all of a sudden this man becomes something else altogether. What happens when we elect leaders?
Very good question. And what happens is power gets into their head. Secondly, Pastor, let me tell you, many people listening to us today are not thieves because they have not been given the opportunity to steal. In other words,
are we getting it?
Most of the people listening to us today,
yes,
they are not thieves, they are not corrupt because they have not been given the opportunity. So immediately they are given the opportunity, they also do it. You know why? Because they have no character. You see, they have no values.
They have no values.
Yeah, you see, you can be as white as Pamba, as they say.
Yeah.
It's because you are down there.
You never saw something to steal.
Correct. So when you get into power and power gets into your head, you forget that you're supposed to be humble. You see, there are people, because of power, they even change the way they do things. They even change, they no longer say hi to you. And you prayed for them in church.
Yeah.
Leave alone even in power, in terms of politics, even in terms of unapata kacheo kadogo kwa ofisi, you are not saying hi to anybody because you think you are more important. And it is because the values are wrong. In fact, in this country, Pastor, what we don't have is what I would call software. People have no character, people have no values. Because, Pastor, what character would you have if you know that it is wrong to do something and you go ahead and do it and pretend that it is fine? So the reason why we elect people, they change, whether it is in political leadership, whether it is in organizational leadership, even whether it is in associations, whether it is in any place where there is leadership, is because power gets into their head, and now they start seeing us as you versus me. Okay? They start seeing themselves as people who are better off than the people who brought into leadership. They start seeing themselves as the master of the people. And they forget that actually we are all human. So basically, people just need to understand you must have the right values, you must have the right character. And even as a electorate, those who are listening to me, someone can be as white as Pamba, but you need to check their values. You need to check their character, because they will definitely change. We still have quite a number of people, Pastor, who have integrity in this country, and it's because of their values. And that is why, by the way, if you are very humble, if you are rich, or you are a leader and you are humble, people think you have a problem. If you have a big church like this one, this is a big church, our viewers, and it's my first church, okay? people start thinking, hey, why is a pastor speaking to small people? Have you ever greeted someone, even your own, church member, and they're
Yes.
like, you mean pastor can greet us? So
us,
even
yes.
as electorates, we have a problem because we think because someone is now a leader, wako hapo juu, sisi tuko hapa chini. So
Okay.
it's like,
So now, so this thing that comes into leaders when they go into leadership, I'm calling it a thing because it will appear so. A thing enters into them and they begin to feel like every money available belongs to them.
Correct.
And they stop caring. Yeah? Because when you have integrity, you care.
Yes.
You care, and you're careful. And they all of a sudden they turn to be carefree people.
They are selfish.
And so, is it because their salaries are not enough for them, and the salary being enough, has it anything to do with integrity?
Thank you very much, Pastor. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
The more money you earn, the more money you want.
The more money you need.
And let me tell you, because I have earned a lot of money before I retired. Viewers, I'm retired.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The more money you earn, the more needs you have. When I earned 12,000 shillings, my needs were in that level. When you earn 300,000, your needs goes to that level. So, in other words, unless you have values, money is never enough.
So are you telling us that only integrity can keep leaders in check?
Correct. You just have to know this is what is expected of me, and that is it. And if you check, just check people who have earned a lot of money. You see, like now, because of probably of who we are, me and you, and maybe some of our viewers, if people find you taking a matatu, they will start asking you why, right? Because their expectation. Remember, your word constitutes what is expected of you. As I started. So you'll find people expect you to be driving. So because you have no integrity, you have no values, you start stealing so that you can be what people want you to be. You see, I ask people, what is wrong with me taking a matatu? Even those people who take matatu are human beings.
Yes, yes.
But you see, there are people who will not take a matatu even when they have no money.
So actually some leaders are stealing to meet the expectations of others.
Correct. Because the society expects things. The society expects you, when you go out there and they have something, they expect you to give not less than this amount. But if you don't have, what do you do? So it is sometimes is that expectation. They want to live a life to show you that we are no longer the same. You know? And that is why you find if a leader, especially a political leader, behaves in a certain way, which looks a bit humble, people are like, "Ay, huyu naye shida yake ni gani? Ajui siku hizi ni MP." You hear people talking like that. You're like, really?
Yes.
It's as if an MP is supposed to behave in a certain way. Of course, it is true. You should behave in line with your position, but you don't steal so that you can, become her. So the problem is that money will never be enough. You can be even paid 10 million a month.
Okay.
You'll still steal if your values are wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, of course, many Kenyans are disappointed with their leaders. And we are angry because, and I'm putting myself there because I'm also angry. Because the people I elected to change my village, they just went and enriched themselves. They came there with big cars and they took their friends. They gave them all the tenders and we remained as poor as we were before.
You're right.
I think it is good before we move on because the next level, I think it's going to be a little bit hotter than the way it is now. Can you address the people, especially when it comes to contentment with what you earn and good planning on what you earn and the discipline of using what is staying and living within your means and seeking to grow your finances in a justified way, in a good way. Please address the leaders right now, because I feel that's a problem.
Thank you very much. If you cannot manage 1,000 shillings, you cannot manage 1 million.
Really?
That must be in your head.
Uh-huh.
So the issue is not how much you earn, actually. The issue is what you do with what you earn. So you need to understand that irrespective of how much money you have, if you don't do the right thing, you're cooked. And that is why you find people, even politicians who have been in those politics for years, and once they are removed, they are beggars. Because it is not about how much you earn.
It's about discipline.
Correct. Secondly, Pastor, if you know that your wealth is right, you fear nothing. But if you know that there is something you did to get your wealth, you'll always look behind you. So what we need to do as leaders, because I'm a leader in my own right, is we must be honest with ourselves. We must stand to be counted. We must ensure that the money that we have, you know, the word of God says that godliness, it says, what does it say, Pastor? Is what?
Godliness with contentment
is a great gain. Yeah, let me repeat that. Godliness with contentment is a great gain. And you know, you can earn all the money that you want to earn in this world, but at the end of the day, is whether you are happy. And that is why people have said many times, there are things money cannot buy. So, as a leader, ask yourself, as even you steal and continue stealing, as you give your friends all the tenders, ask yourself one question. When you are gone, what legacy are you leaving? What is it that you'll be remembered for? When your children are walking around the village, what will people be saying? Because at the end of the day, what will matter is actually what you did. And guess what? Even if you had billions, one day you'll be out of this world.
So there is no end to stealing.
In short.
There is no end to corruption.
No.
So it is just a matter of learning how to manage what is rightfully yours and seeking how to rightfully grow it up. That's what you are saying.
Actually, Pastor, if you are used to always getting money the easy way, you keep looking for loopholes to get more money. Because as I said, money is never enough. If today I could get 100 million, I'll spend it within 2 weeks.
Yes.
I have a lot of things in my head that
yes,
can
of course,
consume.
of course.
And of course, when you get easy money, unfortunately, you don't do much. Because you know you'll get it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the only way we can stop corruption is we must be leaders of integrity, and our systems must also have integrity. They must be able to detect when things are wrong.
Do you think the leaders that have gone into leadership and they want to succeed in leadership, do you think they will succeed without integrity?
You cannot succeed in leadership without integrity.
Even if they steal all the money they have?
I tell you the truth. First of all, if you are a thief, you don't want another person to steal.
To steal like you.
So you will always also steal more. You know, people keep saying that, I've heard people saying in this country, huyu ni mwizi wetu. Tutachagua yeye ni mwizi wetu. Until they steal from you, then you will know. Sio wenu. And you can check, just check, especially the last elections and the way people said so many things. If you don't have integrity, being in leadership is a waste of time for the people that you are leading.
There you have it, and there is no end to the corruption you are doing, Mr. Leader. You just have to stop stealing. And you will never be happy with the stolen money.
Correct.
The guilty are always afraid.
The Bible says.
And the Daktari tells us that you will never do much with the stolen money because you will always think that the way it came easily, you will get another money as easy as that. So you don't even plan it well and you don't do the right things. And finally, we have said that without integrity, you cannot deliver good leadership. Those things that you want to do for your counties, things you want to do for the nation of Kenya, you want to do for your institution and church, you can never do it if you do not embrace integrity in life. We take a short break. When we return, we go deeper. Don't go far. We will be right back.